It's time for Losses Above Replacement, the best baseball podcast to grace your ears, with your hosts, Alex.
Gosh, I have so many questions. Also, where's my car?
Splash.
Strive to love something as much as my grandmother loves buying new crock pots.
And Mac.
If you've ever been to Boston, you know that they have amazing ice cream.
Coming to you from coast to coast, it's L-A-R.
Clap it up, everybody. Actually, in all fairness, we are so back. We've never been more back. It's a wonderful Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes. 9, 10, 25. Can you believe it? Mac and Alex, how are you guys doing?
Doing solid, I'd say, so far. Seattle Mariners are winning games with the power of magic and mustaches. So, this is quite nice here to see them actually winning ball games down the stretch. So we'll talk about that a little bit more later, though. But other than that, I think we're doing okay over here.
I'd be doing better if my baseball team knew how to play baseball properly. We've reached the point where, again, it's honestly crazy. We've somehow, many times the last couple months or so, we've asked if the Mets have reached rock bottom, and it's like crazy. Somehow they've reached rock bottom like 3 times this summer. But other than that, I watched football most of Sunday, so that was a good time. I'm going to see Jacob deGrom pitch against the Mets on Friday night, so that will be an experience.
Gonna be awesome.
It's going to be an experience indeed. I waited and I just decided to go ahead and buy a couple tickets the other day because I had a feeling once it was announced that'd be like the one ticket everyone wanted the rest of the season. So I'm kind of chilling other than that.
Yeah, thankfully this is not a football podcast. Otherwise, I'd have some choice words to say for one Harbaugh, John. But that's neither here nor there. Congratulations, Mac and Alex. You guys get to fight each other Sunday afternoon.
Can't wait.
Although I will say it's always sad when your football team puts up a smaller score than your baseball team does on that same
We
day.
are not going to talk about Sunday anymore, pal. We are not. That day has been banned.
Here's the thing. I would understand, except if you know the kick didn't doink. But anyway, that's a different story. So
stop. We have a division to talk about. It's pretty hectic. Unfortunately, the wrong team is on top because our Lord and Savior Athletics should be there. But we have the American League West to discuss. The Astros enter play today with 1-game lead over the Seattle Mariners, and the Rangers are just a game and a half back of the Mariners. Seattle's in a playoff spot. Houston leads the division. The Rangers a game and a half out. The Angels and Athletics can play spoiler. They have a variety of games against the top 3 in the division. So, fellas, I'll start with you, Mac, as the one less invested in this division race. Who wins the division race? Who gets second? And who cries all off season?
I'll add also that the Rangers won again today. So they are only 2 back of Houston and only 1 back of Seattle. So it's going down to the wire here. The Rangers I thought were gone from the race. They've lost Nathan Eovaldi, they've lost Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Adolis Garcia. All these guys are banged up. They're all hurt. I don't think any of them are going to play the rest of the year. And I'm looking at the remaining schedules. So the Mariners finish up with St. Louis this evening. They have 4 against the Angels at home. Then a 6-game road trip against the Royals and Astros. They come home. They get 3 against the Rockies, 3 against the Dodgers. The Astros get 3 in Atlanta. Then they have their big homestand against the Rangers and Mariners. 3 in Sacramento, 3 in Anaheim. And then the Rangers, they come to face the Mets this weekend. Then they go to Houston. But then after that, they get 3 against the Marlins, 3 against the Twins, and then 3 in Cleveland to finish out. All of these teams, I feel like, sort of have relatively light schedules the rest of the year. I'd say the Rangers probably have the most challenging schedule because while the Mets are playing kind of poorly right now, they are still a team in a playoff spot right now. They have to face the division-leading Astros. And then Cleveland has been playing much better. They're actually also within shouting distance of a playoff spot. I think it's going to come down to Seattle and Houston, and it's going to come down to that series in Houston next weekend between the Mariners and Astros. And also, that's going to decide the tiebreaker. The Mariners dominated the Rangers in the season series, going 10-3. They're only 5-5 against Houston. So I think what's going to come down to is who wins that series, who gets that tiebreaker, and also who takes care of those lesser opponents. The reality is, I'm sorry, Rangers fans, but I don't see this happening. As great as they've been the last couple of weeks, I don't think they quite have the magic to withstand those other two teams. They don't get another shot at the Mariners. They had their shot. They lost 10 of those 13 games. I have just barely. I am going to give the edge to the Mariners, actually. I can't believe I just said that, but the Mariners, I think by a hair. They're going to take 2 of 3 in Houston. I think there's a solid chance they actually those two teams end up tied, but the tiebreaker is going to be the difference. So, unfortunately for the Rangers, they're going home on the last day of the season. The Astros will snag that last wild card spot.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise here. I think that Seattle's going to take it, but I just kind of want to outline a little bit of this. So going into play today, right? Seattle is 77-68. The Astros 78-67. Again, it's one game, and a lot can happen over the last couple of weeks of the season. We have, I believe, actually the final game of the season is on the 28th for Seattle, something like that. And it's very interesting that it's really going to come down to just 3 games. It is going to come down to that series in Houston, just like Max said here. The tiebreaker is on the line, and direct division opponent play is on the line. The person that you are directly competing with for the division title. Here's where I have my issues. The pitching for Seattle has been bad. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it here. The bullpen has not been good. The starting pitching has had its issues here. The offense has finally been starting to pick it up again. But Seattle needed some help. Or, I should say, needed some help. Because they have gotten 2 boons in the way that only apparently Seattle Mariner baseball can get, and no, neither of them have to do with actually playing any baseball. I'm, of course, talking about M&M, the Mustache Initiative, and the Magic Spell. For those of you that do not know, for the uninitiated, shall we say, a tweet was sent 5 days ago at the time of this recording from one absolute unit, not Bob Ross. Here, using a bunch of different numbers and letters here, saying, I have paid an Etsy witch to help blank, not to unmess up the Mariners. Besties, help me manifest. The next day, a tweet saying, we have confirmation of the spell, where he paid for, on Etsy, from Spell by Luna, a $15.99 spell that was discounted by $4 from $19.99. And then from Luna Francis herself, or themselves, I should say, here has said that they have completed the spell with the best materials, and it was a ritual process full of beautiful energies, and everything will be fine. You just need to stay positive and accept the manifestation of the spell. Now, I don't normally go into I believe fully into this, and to be fair, I still don't. I'm going to be real here, but for the purposes of the next couple of weeks, I will fully believe it, because in the 4 games that have happened since then, Seattle has gone 4-0 against the Atlanta Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals. In that time, they have outscored their opponents. Wow, that's a picture, all right. Here.
Yeah, that's weird to look at.
They have outscored their opponents a grand total here of 35, I believe it was. 37-9. Here. That is not just a lot. That is absurd levels of dominance here. And I understand a lot of that came against Atlanta, but you took that power and you've continued it here in Seattle here with a couple wins here against St. Louis, and they're going to play against St. Louis game 3 going for this sweep in a little over an hour. So the other bit was the Mustache Initiative, where basically a player-led initiative here where most of the team, except for a couple names, have shaved off all beards but kept their mustaches, and if they do not have a mustache, are currently trying to grow a mustache. Splash, if you would do me a favor, can you see if you can find George Kirby with a mustache? Because it does not look natural, but it's quite funny. But
as someone who has failed miserably to grow a mustache before, it was also a team initiative when I was in college. I do not understand how anyone grows a good mustache, because I personally cannot.
As Splash and I can attest, mustaches are quite nice. So it has been interesting watching this team because the entire dynamic has changed. Going back to before, I'm just going to say before Spell here, before that here, this team was sluggish. They looked and played bad. Like, it wasn't even funny how bad they were playing. They were basically, they had victory and snatched loss from the jaws of victory. What is happening here on the screen? Make sure you go subscribe to us on YouTube at Losses Above Replacement.
So I'm trying to be a good producer, right, and look for a picture of George Kirby with the mustache. And I look up George Kirby mustache on Twitter, and the first thing I see is this glorious, glorious fella associated with Georgia football.
I mean, you know what? Fair.
It's pretty great. Kind of looks like the Monopoly guy.
Kind of does. Yeah, absolutely. I see it. But no worries. Yeah, if you have the ability to go watch yesterday's game, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It is about as thin as you can get, but I respect the hustle. So here's where I get all of this though, right? Is that this team is playing with a lot of momentum. It's about whether or not they can carry it for the rest of the season. They're getting hot at the right time. That's, again, another phrase that we in the baseball industry like to use. But you take a look at their schedule, and yeah, it's interesting. You have 2 series against teams that really matter here. You have one against the Astros, which is going to decide, in my opinion, everything, and one against the Dodgers. The Dodgers is your final series of the year. I will be at one of those games. But by that time, more playoff seed might even just be decided. So we'll see if the Dodgers even decide to play well. We'll see. But I'm not going to bank on that either. So here's where it comes down to for Seattle. That series against Houston, September 19th, 20th, and 21st, is going to decide the division. I will outright say it here. Because Seattle and Houston are tied in the season series, whoever wins will have the tiebreaker. And because they are so close to the amount of games, there's a very real chance that they do finish tied here. So I think it's very possible that Seattle does come ahead, but they need to do well against Houston. And Houston, don't get me wrong, is also playing pretty darn well. They've struggled for a good while too, but Seattle is struggling at the exact same time. So now you're, as Dave Sims used to say, we're getting into nitty-gritty time, folks. This is where it counts. This is where it matters. And you know what? If a magic spell and shaving a beard is what it takes to make it to the playoffs here, then so be it. It is about psychology at this moment. I was actually having this conversation with my neighbor the other day that people do better here psychologically wise. Brains get activated a lot easier when there's a new goal for you, whether it be one that it actually is real or not here. And when when someone can rally around something here that legitimately has no bearing on them, people tend to do better here when they have this goal that they are trying to rally around. Here for Seattle right now, it's around the Etsy witch and about the mustache, which is still as crazy as it sounds. But the problem is they've been winning. I say the problem is as it's not a good thing, but they've been winning, and they've been winning well too. Each of these games have been ones where you just felt this team feels like they're in control. Even the games where you were even down for a little bit, you still felt like this team's got enough firepower to keep it going, and they have been. Also, just a little shout out here. Josh Naylor somehow has an OPS of over 1,000 playing in T-Mobile Park this season.
Just the way, just how everyone expected.
He literally outright said during an interview, like, I love hitting in T-Mobile Park. I don't know what it is. It just feels easier here. And to that point, I have to say, please sign here forever. You are the hitter that we want and that we need. Please, John Stanton, open up the checkbook and give this man the lifer contract. Because there's been no hitter in the history of baseball that has said, you know where I want to go hit? T-Mobile Park or Safeco Field.
Yeah, little did we know in mid-September, both your Mariners, my Braves, the biggest storyline would be Mustache related. Congratulations, Spencer Strider. Don't love it, but hey, he pitched okay last night.
Honestly, it looks like George Kirby without the mustache.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
He had a beard for a decent chunk of the season too. That was a little goofy. But yeah, whatever it takes for Strider to have an ERA below 5, I'll sign up for. I'm leaning Astros right now. They're favored depending on your bookie. On FanDuel, they're minus 125 with the Mariners at plus 130. On various other books, BetMGM, you can get the Rangers at 9-1, or you can get the Rangers on Caesars at 12-1. So if you think Texas can adapt and overcome, maybe they're worth a sprinkle. And I think that would be the best in terms of chaos mode. But, Houston, they had this sort of killer mentality. We've talked about it in the NFL with the Chiefs, that you kind of have to beat the best to be the best. And I'm going to back Houston. They do it every year. It feels like they won the division last year. They won the division in 23. They won the division in 22. They won the division in 21. They won the division in 19. They won the division in 18. They won the division in 17. They do it like a lot of their guys have been there, done that before in these past few seasons. And the Mariners, on the other hand, end up being the Bills or the Ravens or whatever bozo brigade you want to insert in there, that they've been on the outside looking in these situations repeatedly. A lot of their players have the residue from getting swept in the ALDS against Houston a few years ago. They have residue from these late season, not collapses, but late season game 161s and game 162s that didn't exactly go their way. And sometimes you can work through that. And at some point, the Astros are not going to win the division. I don't know if that's this year. I don't know if that's next year. I don't know if that's 2040. But I will give Houston the benefit of the doubt. I think they should be favored. They do have the lead for right now. So give me Houston with Seattle grabbing the 6th seed. And we might get a very timely Houston versus Seattle matchup in the wild card round of the playoffs. Even right now, Houston occupies the 3rd seed and Seattle occupies the 6th seed. So the winner of the division, congratulations. You have to face the other team in a do or die situation the next week. So there's your consolation.
Yeah, whoever wins the division gets the honor of hosting that series at least, which those 6-3 matchups get pretty weird. I'll tell you that much.
Actually, let me tell you, it has nothing on the 4-5 matchup that's going to be Red Sox Yankees.
Oh my God, Red Sox Yankees is going to be a battle.
That is absolute cinema. Whoever designed this playoff
I will
format,
be locked in for that. Yeah,
it took you a couple years, but you cooked.
Actually, now that I think about it, let's see. It was Phillies Cardinals. The Phillies won that series in 22. The Brewers Diamondbacks won that. Last year was Mets Brewers. The Mets won that. So the 3 seed has yet to win a series. You win a wild card series on the National League side. At least. And then I'm trying to think the American League side, I believe.
Yeah, Tigers beat the Astros last year.
Yeah, Tigers beat the Astros. Okay, no, Cleveland beat Tampa. And then the other series.
Was it Minnesota over Toronto?
Yeah, Minnesota beat Toronto. So, I guess the 3 seed on the AL side has had some success, but on the National League side, not so much. So, yeah. It is, I will say, though, I feel like it'd be a bigger home field advantage for Seattle. The Electric Factory
I mean,
I feel like winning the division here matters way more to Seattle. Because Houston lost their home playoff series last year too. I mean, I feel like the Mariners are just T-Mobile Park is a much bigger home field advantage for Seattle than Daikon Field is for Houston. Wow, I had to remind myself that it's not Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, that's fair.
Are you sure it's not Enron anymore?
Oh God, yeah, no, it is not Enron. Luckily,
I kind of want to piggyback off what you're saying here. That it's more important for Seattle at this point because yes, I 100% agree. Seattle's played better at home this year, which I think will help a lot. But also, there's a pride level to it. Seattle has not won the division since 2001. Here, remember when they made the playoffs in 2022, it was via the wild card. Here, so they have not won the division proper since the 116 year. So let's take a quick look at what does that matter for? Well, this is a chance that Seattle has not just to make things right here and to make the playoffs again, but to finally get another monkey off of their back here. And Houston has won the division so many times over the last several years here that at this point, Seattle just wants to have it done. They just want to have it be theirs for the first time in over 2 decades, which checks notes is a long time here. But like we were saying here, I almost think it's more of pride at this point here, where Seattle just wants to win the division for the purpose of finally, you are the AL West champions. They deserve it at this point.
And I'm sure everyone remembers that the only team not named the Astros to win the division in the last 8 years, the pandemic year, the Oakland A's went 36-24. 36-24 to win the AL West.
And immediately lost to the Astros in the playoffs.
Yeah, and then lost to the Astros in the playoffs. So the Astros have won every full season division title since 2017. So whether it's the Mariners or the Rangers, the teams in the division are trying to find a way to finally dethrone the Astros from their full season division titles. So it would mean a lot to the Mariners. It would mean a lot to the Rangers just to get them off of first place. It's going to be very hard to do, but like I said, it would probably mean even more to the Mariners because what you were saying, Alex, it's been since 2001. I mean, they snapped that playoff drought in 22, but they still haven't won the division since that year.
It has been a minute.
Yeah, I was a very small child.
I was
back
7.
then.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the only playoff game at Safeco / T-Mobile since 2001 is the 18-inning
game. Correct.
Yes, they got. Since 2001, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, since 01, that's the only one at.
Yeah, since 01, that's the only game that's been played in Seattle.
Yeah, it was 2 at Toronto, 2 at Houston, then you lose the 18-inning game.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. So we deserve to have more than one game, please.
Exactly. And I know that T-Mobile Park would be rocking if they get to host a series.
What I want to know is who would throw out the first pitch at that thing, because we had King Felix last year. Here, do the first pitch at the one game.
I would say probably Griffey.
Griffey 100% should be.
Ichiro?
Here's the thing.
Ichiro.
It should be Ichiro this year.
It should be Ichiro. I know that he's already done that a few times, but I feel like it would only make sense for Buhner, maybe Jay Buhner. Kyle Seager possibly.
To give my reasoning for why it should be Ichiro, this is the year that they inducted Ichiro into they retired his number. I feel like that makes sense. Plus, also the fact of and again, during his speech, I even made kind of a note of this. There was a moment where I'm like, okay, that's a catchphrase that he was told to say here, and it was the catchphrase of "seize the moment" here, and I'm 99% sure that was not him writing. That was someone saying, "Hey, we want to trademark this term," and I think I'm right because considering the fact that they trademarked it almost immediately after I started using it in merch. But at the same time, like, I think it just makes sense to have Ichiro do one. I would love, you have no idea how happy I would be to see Kyle Seager, though, come out and throw a first pitch. Because
Who would be the player you least want to see throw a first pitch?
I mean,
A-Rod.
I feel like there's an easy
A-Rod.
answer here.
Yeah, A-Rod.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I was going with someone completely different. But yeah.
Oh,
Sean
were you
Figgins,
gonna-
baby. Sean Figgins.
Not Figgins, baby. No, were you
Yeah,
going to
Sean-
say, like, Altuve or something?
I was
Like-
going to say Brett Boone, but
Oh, yeah, no.
Can we
I
have
mean,
a
also,
Willie
wait.
Bloomquist, please?
I was going to say
Bloomquist,
Bloomquist would be
please,
great.
yes.
Well, Boone also works for the Rangers. He's
yeah,
their
he
hitting
works for the
coach.
Rangers
Like,
now,
that wouldn't
so
make
we
any
can't do
sense.
it.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It's fine.
Uh,
No, yeah, I think I desperately would love to see Kyle Seager do it. I want Edgar to throw out a first pitch.
Is he still on the coaching staff? I
Yes,
mean,
he is.
Ooh.
He is,
okay.
he is the director of hitting strategy for the team.
hear me out. World famous photographer Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
That would
Oh,
actually
wait.
be crazy
Okay,
if Marshawn Lynch did that.
world famous photographer pitching to world's famous photographer in Marshawn Lynch pitching to Randy Johnson.
With Ken Griffey Jr. in
I
the
was
box.
going to say Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken
Yeah,
Griffey
he's also a
Jr.
photographer. Yeah.
Actually, no. Let's put another Seattle sports legend in there, and let's put Sue Bird in the box.
Sue Bird, yes.
Yes, we can have the Bird Box challenge there. All right, folks.
Wait, no, hold up. Was I not the first one to make a pun when we could do this? Yeah!
Oh,
I can't believe I wasn't the first. So, StreamYard added the ability to make sounds as a thing, not just the background music, and this was one of them.
Let me just
That was
say, it'd
great.
be really awkward if that didn't come through, like the one time we
It
did that on
better.
Discord.
It better come through
It came through. Yep.
Okay.
on the
Okay.
recording. Though,
Wonderful. We're cooked. All right. Well, if you want to do your own Bird Box challenge, you can watch the rest of the AL West unfold as these teams trip over each other. But continuing that motif of teams tripping over each other, Mac, I call you to the stage to
great.
tell me what the heck is going on in the National League wild card. I'll pull up the records here momentarily, but man, these teams like all suck. Like it's all spectacular amount of suck. It's crazy. So walk us through what's going on here.
All right. Well, the Mets had a 5-game lead about, 10 days ago, I think, in the wild card race. They've just been kind of tripping over themselves. It seems like, this team really fascinates me because they are the streakiest team I've ever watched. They've had 2 separate stretches, one in which they lost 14 of 17, another stretch where they lost 14 of 16. In between that, they went 13-7, by the way, including a 7-game winning streak. So they played really well in between those 3 weeks or so. And then, oh boy, they come back. They sweep the Phillies at home. They win 5 of 6. Oh, they're back. No, let's lose 3 of 4 to the Marlins at home. Oh, but they take 2 of 3 from the Tigers in Detroit. All right, let's go. We're going to lose 2 of 3 to Cincinnati, lose the first 2 to Philly. They're losing again today. They basically they failed to close the door here. And the thing is that the Giants lost to the Diamondbacks today. The Reds got swept by the Dodgers at one point. They've shown weaknesses too. It's just they happen to take 2 of 3 from the Mets earlier this week. The Mets have the tiebreaker over San Francisco because they swept that series in San Fran back in late July. But the Reds have the tiebreaker over the Mets. So this is kind of a mess here, really. I'm going to say the Giants and the Reds are the only teams to really worry about. Sorry, Diamondbacks. As much as I wanted to believe in that run, they're not coming back, I don't think. The Cardinals are not coming back either. But it just is fascinating to me that the Giants, the team that sold off at the trade deadline, had the worst record in baseball after they got Rafael Devers, have all of a sudden won 11 of 15, the best record in that stretch. And they're somehow back leading the charge of the teams that are currently not in a playoff position. So it's really a disaster. If I'm being completely honest, I think the Padres are safe, although they do have 3 in New York next week. So anything is possible there. Again, the Padres have a tiebreaker over the Mets. But the NL West race is kind of a mess. Whoever wins the NL West right now, if you wouldn't believe, is the 3 seed. Yes, it'd be weird. The Dodgers right now have to play a best of 3 series. I cannot believe that. But really, it's painful to watch all of this because it's the Mets who, on paper, are way superior to those teams, and somehow they have to fight with a team that sold off at the deadline and a team that's basically been 500 all season. So, what I think is going to happen, look, if I'm being completely honest, the Mets will somehow snag that last wild card spot. It's going to be very ugly. They might finish 85-77 and get trounced by the Dodgers in that first round, but I think they have just enough in the tank that they're going to do enough on their next homestand, their last homestand of the year, 9 games against the Rangers, Padres, and Nationals, that they're going to secure that last wild card spot. But they should not have to be sweating this right now. If I'm being completely honest, they have not played to their talent level. And I mean, it's going to be weird looking back at this year because there were so many highs, but the lows have been really, really low this year.
Absolutely. Like, you look at this year, if you had presented this list to someone at the beginning of the year, someone would have told you, it's like, how did this happen? They would have just asked, how? How did we get here? Or to quote the famous video, how did this happen? But yeah, I saw this. That's not a joke. I just quoted a movie. I'm not a YouTube video. Anyway, regardless, if anyone would have said that the Milwaukee Brewers would be leading the National League with 89 wins here going into the games on the 10th of September, I don't think a single person would have believed you. Not a single one. Maybe some people.
I had the Brewers missing the playoffs.
Yeah,
so
I did too. I don't remember fully.
I think we all only had one NL Central team making the playoffs, which was the Cubs. So
I had the Reds. Respect.
Oh, right,
me.
the Reds. Rice. I forgot.
Fair enough. I mean, all wrong, but at that point, because
I had the Reds. They are right on the cusp.
Look, at least the Cubs
they're
are firmly in a playoff spot. They're actually, wow, if you're looking at it, our YouTube channel right now, you can see that the Cubs have a better record than the Dodgers.
Welcome to seeding, and welcome to how the seedings work. But yeah, no, if you would have told me as well that both the Brewers and the Phillies would have had a better record than the Dodgers, scratch that also. Include in that as well the Cubs. Here, that all of them would have a better record than the Dodgers, I would have just outright said no. I would not make a take that bad. But it's the world that we live in right now. I'm looking at this and just look at the wild card. It is so funny because after the Cubs, you have the Padres here. And the Padres, I'm not going to say anything bad on. They played well. Here, they are pretty firmly right now within that second wild card spot. And honestly, I think the Mets are too. Like at 2.5 games, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of wiggle room there. But when you have a 2.5 game lead over the next one up here, that gives you at least some level of cushion. Here is whereas you take a look at the American League wild card standings here. And the next separation after the third wild card spot is 1 game. Then 2.5 games here of that. So you take a look at what's going on here, and I honestly don't think that there's going to be much of any change in the wild card list here. I think that if anything is going to happen, I would say that San Francisco might edge out the Mets here, but that's such a heavy might, you know. It is. I'm not going to put any real eggs in that basket. Plus, even if they do, then you're going to have San Francisco versus the Dodgers in what I'm going to call the much more efficient travel series, as in trying to go between San Francisco and Los Angeles is a lot easier than trying to go between Los Angeles and Queens. So, I mean, I don't think that's too hard to say.
Here, I'll throw one more thing in there, which is that the Giants still have to play the Dodgers 7 times the rest of the year. So, I mean, I understand the Dodgers haven't really played to their abilities either. I mean, heck, they lost 2 to the Orioles this past week. They got swept by the Pirates. But it's not like the Giants will have an easy out facing the Dodgers 7 times. They still have to face the D-backs 3 more times, which That'd be in Phoenix. And they also have 3 more with St. Louis, who just took 2 out of 3 from them. So the Giants have a tough path. The Mets also have a tough path, to be fair. The Mets have to face the Rangers and the Padres and also the Cubs. Plus, they have a series against the Marlins, which always ends poorly, it feels like. So I feel like the Mets and Giants have the tougher schedules ahead of them.
Do you think at that point that there's even a remote chance that potentially both teams crash out during that?
I mean, yeah, I would say it's possible.
Come and take that third spot.
I mean, hang on, I haven't looked at the Reds schedule yet, but like, yeah, I think it's a very real possibility. If I'm being honest, I think both teams, all of these teams, it's not like the AL wildcard race is different because I feel like it's mostly teams that are playing well right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the National League, it's all these teams that are tripping over themselves. Like it's not like, all right, so the Reds next up get the A's in Sacramento. They have 4 with Chicago and 3 with Milwaukee. Those are like their big series the rest of the year, but it's just the Cardinals and Pirates other than that. So A's, Cardinals, Cubs, Pirates, Brewers. Like they have a much lighter schedule compared to the Giants and Mets, I feel.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting going forward because I do think the Mets have probably of any team that we've talked about so far today have the hardest schedule.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But the problem is I'm still very much rooting for the Mets against the Rangers. Please do well against the Rangers.
I'm 10-1 at the ballpark this year, so hopefully that continues.
Please let that continue. Also, that pitching matchup that you're going to see will be cinema.
DeGrom against Tong, yep.
That is going to be beautiful to watch. But yeah, I mean, as much as it'd be really fun to say Cincinnati takes it, I think I'm just going to keep with the Mets. I think the Mets have the best chance, but their schedule is just brutal.
Yeah, I'd love for Cincinnati to make it. It seems unlikely. And this poor graph shows just how putrid the Rockies are this year. At least on
Rockies.
Yeah, poor Rockies. I am rocking the Rockies hat today, though. But on Fangraphs,
I'm going to give you a layup here. You are rocking the Rockies hat.
That's what I said. No.
Yeah, I know. Just like playing onto the pun a little bit more.
Yes. Well, I have the playoff odds pulled up here according to Fangraphs, and as far as Fangraphs is concerned, it's a pretty fait accompli that the Mets are 89% likely to make the playoffs as of today. The Cubs are 99.8, the Padres are 98.6, and the Reds and Giants are both under 6%. So odds are we're going to have to see.
I don't know how they came up with that because I don't know. To be fair, the Mets were up at like 95% entering the weekend. So their odds have gone down slightly, but I feel like they're not giving the Reds and Giants enough credit.
Yeah, sure. And the Mets have fallen under 90% now, but I mean, both Cincinnati and San Francisco have had major problems the entire season. The Reds have never been above even 25%, and the Giants haven't been above 25% since the end of July. So there is something to be said for a team struggling for long stretches of the season. Yes, I would love to see the Reds and have they could throw some truly incredible pitching out there. And it would be away from Great American Ballpark. So that would be electric. Like if they head into Chavez Ravine and lock down the Dodgers, bada bing, bada bang, that would be cinema.
I will say that, and I say this obviously with a dog in the fight here, but Cincinnati, Great American Ballpark, I feel like deserves a playoff series at some point. Whether or not it's this year, I think actually next year, say the Cubs lose Kyle Tucker and like a couple of their key guys, then I can see the Reds coming away with a playoff series. And I feel like Great American Ballpark, like Cincinnati is itching for a playoff series. They have not hosted a playoff game since 2012.
They have not won a playoff game since 1995 in Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati, yeah, you're right. And that's also the last time they won a playoff series because they got swept by the Phillies and then blew a 2-0 lead to the Giants. And they lost the wild card game in 2013. They lost the short little pandemic series in 2020. Like
go Braves. Oh,
so
yeah.
The Reds. And the thing is, Cincinnati is a great baseball city. I feel like they don't get enough credit because obviously, people love their football team there. They love I get Ohio State's not Cincinnati at all, but like They love the Bearcats there though. Like they're really passionate about sports there, especially baseball. But they just haven't had a lot to get excited about there. And maybe they do get a chance to host a series in the near future.
Yeah, that'd be fabulous. Their last home playoff win was October 6th, 1995. Any guesses at who started the game for the Dodgers on the mound?
Oral
What
Hershiser?
year was it?
October 6th, 1995. Any guesses on who was the starting pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers that day?
Was that Valenzuela?
Yeah,
was that off the? I'm trying to remember the years. I'm definitely getting the years mixed up. Here,
1995.
I feel like it's either Oral Hershiser or Ramon Martinez.
Those would both be incorrect. Both starters in this game have a famous no-hitter.
Is one of them Tom Browning?
It is not Tom Browning.
What?
I don't even know.
The Red starter did not do it with the Reds. It was with a different team.
And he threw a no-hitter at some point. Was it
yes,
before?
Very famous no-hitter.
A very famous no-hitter?
Very famous.
In 1996?
No.
What
year?
Famous in what way?
Well, the hat he wore is pretty famous. The number of base runners is pretty famous. And doing it for a certain team is pretty famous.
What?
He got fined for wearing a particular hat.
You lost me, man.
Yeah, I'm lost here, man.
Okay. It was David Wells versus Hideo Nomo.
Oh, wow. Oh, that was Nomo's rookie year, right?
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah. So just some
David Wells. I forget about David Wells being on Cincinnati.
Yeah.
But
Yatsu was the 3-hitter for the Dodgers, Eric Karros. The older Delino DeShields, Raul Mondesi.
Senior, yeah.
Todd Hollinsworth came in as a pinch hitter.
Another National League Rookie of the Year.
The Reds had Barry Larkin, MVP that year.
MVP, yep.
Ron Gant, Reggie Sanders, Benito Santiago, Brett Boone.
Wow, the Reds.
Yeah.
Wow.
So some fun names here.
David Wells, my brother was at David Wells' perfect game. Like it's that I know that was the legendary. He was hungover when he threw it and all that. But
and he got fined for wearing the Babe Ruth hat.
Oh yeah. No, that's what I mean though, is that like the Reds, that was a whole different stadium too. That was at Riverfront. Like
it'll be the 30th anniversary in about 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy actually.
Yeah, that is insane to think about.
All right, fellas. Is it trivia time? It might be trivia time.
I believe it is.
All right, Alex, we hand it off to you.
All right, everyone. It is time for trivia, and today's trivia has a name. We are playing Chain Reaction. Here, for those of you that have seen the TV show or just know how the game works here, I have compiled a puzzle for both of you here, where you will get the first and the last word of a 7-word chain. Here, where you will try to go from the top of the chain all the way down to the bottom, and the first one to do that wins. Now, how it's going to work here is I have 2 different ones, one for each of you, and on your turn, you will get one guess here, and if you get it wrong, then we move on, but you will get an extra letter added on here too. So you will have the first word and the last word. Then every other word, you're going to have one letter of the first letter of. If you get the answer wrong, I will give you the next letter for that, and then we move on to the next person's turn. I will not give you the last letter. So if you get all but the last, I will tell you that is the last. I cannot give you the last letter. Does that make sense, just how I'm describing it so far?
Yes, sir. Let's cook.
All right, fantastic. So here is what we are going to do for this. Here, I am going to go ahead and flip this remote control here because I refuse to flip a coin.
Flip anything but a coin challenge.
Exactly. But from this, whoever calls it correctly on this will get to choose either if they want to play first or select their puzzle. Here, you will not know what you're getting on the puzzle, Just so more than likely you're probably gonna choose to play first. So let's see, Mac. Do you want heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails. It is tails. So Mac, here, would you like to be first or would you like to be second?
I'll go first.
Okay. So then Splash, a little arbitrary, but do you want the first or the second puzzle?
I'll take the second puzzle.
Sounds good. All righty. So I'm going to give you both your guys' puzzles, though, at least right now, for you guys to write down so you can reference.
Sure.
Here.
All right.
So, Mac, your goal is to combine the words pitch, then game, with the letters in between being A, L, O, S, and B.
So wait, can you start that again? So
Yeah,
that's going down. That's
Yes,
the
going down. You have pitch, A, L, O,
oh.
S, B, and game as the final word.
So pitch is my first word. Game is my
Which is
last.
first
word.
word. By the way, I should mention this as well. Most to all of the words here, or the kind of reactions, are all going to be baseball related in some way.
I would hope so.
I made it for a baseball podcast. I'm trying to make sure that I'm keeping on brand.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
And Splash, your puzzle starts with the word triple, then goes P, B, F, P, C, and ends with the word drills.
All right. Yep.
So, with that being said, Mac, here, you are now, and I do have a tiebreaker, by the way, just in case it takes the same amount of turns. I do have a turn counter as well. All right, Mac, if you are ready to go.
I'm
then
just supposed to
go
guess a
ahead.
word here.
You're supposed to guess the word that follows in your puzzle the word pitch.
Average. I don't know. Can't really think of any baseball words that start with an A.
All right, so, all right, that is incorrect. The next letter is a G.
G. Okay.
All right, Splash.
I'm going to go with triple play.
Triple play is correct.
Okay.
And one thing I will say as well, and this is how they do it, I should have said this a moment ago. If you get the word correct, you keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not done. Your turn is not yet done.
Sure.
All right, Splash, then you have the next one.
I'm going to go with play ball.
Play ball is correct.
Okay.
Okay. I'm getting
Maybe
destroyed.
it did mean a little bit more if you decide who chooses the puzzle. But,
Okay.
all right, your next one.
I'm going to go with ball 4.
Ball 4 is incorrect.
Okay.
Here, the next letter for you is an I. All right. So, Mac, it is now back to you.
All right. I'm just gonna guess it means against.
That is incorrect. I like the guess, though.
God.
The next letter is a G.
What?
Here.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Splash, back to you.
You said F, correct?
Yeah, it's F
Like-
and I.
Okay.
Is the next letter for that.
Ball finish.
That is incorrect. The next letter of that is an E. All right, Mac, back to you.
Okay.
It's
Aggressive.
AGG. Aggressive is correct.
Let's go.
All right. So now you keep going. We have aggressive, then an L.
Okay. League.
Say it again.
League.
League.
Yeah.
That is incorrect. Here, but the next letter is an E.
Okay, that's weird.
I'm going to go with ball field.
Ball field is absolutely correct. Here. You have the
all
next one where it is a P.
Field pass.
That is incorrect. Here, where the next letter for that is an O. All right. Back to you. It's LE.
LE lead.
Lead, you said?
Yes.
That is correct. It's an aggressive lead.
Oh.
All right.
Aggressive lead.
So now you have lead and then the letter O.
Off?
That is correct. It's lead
Oh
off.
my god.
All right. What is next? It starts with an S.
Steal.
That is incorrect.
Yeah.
The next letter for that is P.
Oh.
All right, Splash, back to you. The letters we have to work with are P-O.
I'm going to try field position.
Position is correct.
Ah.
Okay.
All right, then you have C as the next letter. Well, as for the next word to try to go.
I'm going to try position coach.
That is absolutely correct, which means that the final...
And coach drills.
There you go. You've got it here. Your chain reaction was triple play, play ball, ball field, field position, position coach, and coach drills.
Coach drills. That's why I don't play baseball anymore.
Ouch.
Ow.
Ouch. All right. I will give Mac just a chance because Splash, you've already won this. But
yeah, bow down.
I'm going to give you a
GG's.
chance to see if you can complete your grid right here.
Is it speed?
It is speed.
Okay.
So you have also the next letter is B, and for a little bit of help as well, remember the bottom word is game. This is the only word between. So
ball.
It is in fact ball here.
Okay.
So your chain was pitch aggressive, aggressive lead off speed, speed ball game. Here.
Wow.
But
okay.
That was very, very close, and Splash etched it at the very end.
It took me a second, I think, to figure out what I was doing. You know,
That's
Beautiful.
fair. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
But
that was good though. I like
Nice.
that.
Fair enough. We have a little bit of extra time to work with here. So how about this? Just for a little bit of fun, I do have a tiebreaker for
Okay.
both of you here.
Let's hear it.
So how this is going to work is that I am going to give you a mini chain here. And the mini chain has a word, letter, word. And I'm going to share it with both of you.
Okay.
Here. And the first one to complete the chain with no hints will win.
All right. Let's
You just
cook.
gotta do your buzz in. I'm gonna give you
Yep.
both chain. Sorry, once you're ready to write something down, you guys good?
Yep. Good to go.
Okay. All right. The first word is club. Then the letter is H. The next letter is C, and the last word is up.
Beep, 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 beep,
All
beep.
right, Splash. Give me a
Club, house call up.
Splash. You got the tiebreaker
Wow.
too. Way
that
to
was
go.
crazy. Wow.
Way to go.
I heard club and immediately started thinking of a sandwich for some reason.
I mean, look, it's dinner time. I feel it.
Well, it's a little past dinner. It's 9 p.m. here.
I mean, that's fair, but I mean, that's dinner time for some people.
I could go for some club crackers.
I mean, yeah, club crackers are great, but also I think the club sandwich is like the greatest invention ever.
That's fair. Really.
I do enjoy me some club soda. So.
Dude, I don't know, club like chicken club, turkey club. I think the chicken club is like the greatest sandwich ever. So, yeah.
All right, rank it against a good bacon, egg, and cheese.
This is how you come. This is why you're here. This is why you come to the LAR podcast. It's not for the baseball. It's for the sandwiches.
It's the sandwich.
I'll be honest. I think I lean with the chicken club. I don't know. I love a chicken club. Thing is, I think it fills me up more than a bacon, egg, and cheese does normally because it's on like a hero. So.
That's fair. That makes a lot of sense. All right, Splash, I hand it back to you.
Okay, absolutely. So it's our time to ourselves, everyone's favorite segment. Would either of you like to go first, or do you like me to take the reins here? Because I got something cooked up.
I say go for it, Splash.
All right, folks, count me down.
All right, your time begins in 3, 2, 1, go.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this actually has nothing to do with the Ravens-Bills game. This has everything to do with people in not sports media, but sports fans. When you say you want your team to punt the ball or kick on 4th down and do conservative things, why? Why do you want your team to do less entertaining things? I'm curious. And yeah, I agree. Punt on like 4th and 17. I'm not saying like outlandish things, but at least I I can't speak for everyone. I watch sports to see athletes do great things. I want athletes to actively do stuff, right? I like watching the highlight videos of athletes doing things. I don't like missed field goals. I don't like dropped passes. Like that's anticlimactic, right? If you win a football game, I want to see the touchdown catch. I want to see the made kick. I want to see the interception, right? Baseball game. I don't want to see behind the bag, it gets through Buckner, the Mets win. I don't want to see that. I want to see, Mookie Wilson hit a ball in 500 feet. That's more exciting to me, right? I don't want to see people fail and have that be the resounding impact. I want to see people succeed. So it boggles my mind when it's the rooting interest is, oh, we need to be conservative and punt here. 4th and 3, you're facing Josh freaking Allen. Go for it. You have Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews and Charlie Kohler and Rashad Bateman and DeAndre Hopkins. You have 70 million guys you're paying money to. Go make a play. The defense has been cooked. What does Buffalo want you to do? Buffalo's like, please give Josh Allen the ball. Please give Josh Allen the ball. Please, we are begging. Give Josh Allen the ball. We're going to beat you. Because Josh Allen, we're going to give Josh Allen the football. And John Harbaugh and the Ravens are like, you know what we should do? We have a 2-time MVP quarterback who's going to be in the Hall of Fame soon. We have a Hall of Fame running back who has 170 yards rushing today. We have a receiver who has 140 receiving yards today. We have DeAndre Hopkins who's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. I don't know. We have a former All-Pro tight end. Maybe he could exercise some demons. I don't know. Let's punt the ball away, man. Let's give it to the other team. They're at home. They have all the momentum. Give it to their MVP quarterback. What are we doing? Like, be aggressive. If you fail, okay, fair enough. GG's. You failed on your own terms. I can accept that. But if you're going to fail because you're going to let the other team beat you, I can't abide by that, man. You were passive. You were followers. You were followers. Like, this is a Josh Allen highlight reel now. Not a Lamar Jackson highlight, not a Derrick Henry highlight, not a Zay Flowers, not a Baltimore Ravens highlight. You are now bystanders once again in another team's highlight film, just like you have been Buffalo last year, just like you were against Kansas City 2 years ago, just like you've been to Cincinnati in years past. You are just letting other teams style on you. Like, be aggressive, make a play, have a highlight reel. I want to see more. He is Houdini plays. What are we doing? Get it together.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you here.
I mean, as someone that watched Seattle in the last game there, when you were on 4th and inches away and in field goal range, I understand that. When you have the ball late in the game and just seeing you take the field goal for the points here when it's like when you had a very real shot, especially how good the running game was, especially just playing tough football up the middle. Why kick the field goal there? Did not help you. You lost 17-13 and got outscored by the Seattle Mariners that day.
You just listen. If you are a team of the Ravens caliber, honestly, if you're any NFL team, it is inexcusable to not be aggressive. Like, if you lean conservative, you are being soft. It is as simple as that. You are being soft. You are trying to keep your job. You are the status quo means more to you than trying to win football games or trying to win baseball games. Because, if you go for it on 4th and 3 and let's say Lamar throws a pass and it's knocked away or something, or you have a miscommunication or whatever, fair enough. It doesn't work. It happens, but you had the game in your hands. You said, our number one player, our most valuable player, for my money, the most valuable player in the sport, you're giving him a chance to succeed. And honestly, if coaches would understand any sort of psychology and understand what the other coach wants to happen, if you're Sean McDermott on the sideline, what do you want to happen? You want Baltimore to punt. You want Baltimore to give you the football. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, yeah, it'd be cool if they went for it and failed. But that's a great option. But if that's a 50-50 choice, as opposed to guaranteeing you get the ball back, it's like when you go for 2, and the Ravens have done that before, and I applaud them. They need to do plays, but when they went for 2 to try to beat Pittsburgh, when they went for 2 to try to beat Green Bay, okay, yeah, Pittsburgh knows if Baltimore converts, the game is over. Now, if they don't convert, the game is also over. But if they kick the field goal, well, then we get overtime, right? The Packers, well, if they kick, we have Aaron freaking Rodgers in overtime. Come on. So,
I mean, the moment ourselves went really long right there. Gosh, no, I'm kidding. I'm
Yes.
kidding.
I know
All
what
right.
it's like.
All right, who would like to go?
I feel it. I can go next.
All right,
Yeah,
Alex.
go ahead.
3, 2, 1.
I don't honestly. Okay, here's what we're going to talk about here for a sec. I don't really believe in magic. I don't really believe in a lot of this. What I do believe in is psychology. And I do think that what's going on with the Mariners right now is very interesting. Do I love watching them win? Absolutely. Do I love rallying around it? Absolutely, even more so. I just really like whatever gets us to the playoffs, that's fine. That's fine with me. I don't even have anything wrong with what's going on with the Etsy Witch and all that. I actually love it. I really do, because it's fun. And this team has always done its best when everyone is having fun. Here, there's a reason why in the last few years Seattle has done a lot better, is because you look at the players and they've been having more fun. Julio is a beacon of fun. Eugenio Suarez is Mr. Good Vibes. Here, the big grumper is fun because he allows it to be fun even while being serious. What do you want? What do you want here in something that is just out of fun? There's a lot of people that are trying to say that it's like you shouldn't be supporting this. You shouldn't be doing any of that fun stuff here. Who cares? Let's just have some fun here. If we lose and don't make the playoffs here, it's not a Magic Witch's fault. It is not a Mustache or Beard's fault. It is the team's fault. It is just how that works. If the team wins, it's not a Magic Witch's fault. It's not a Mustache's fault. It is the team's fault for winning too. Like, it's just fun. Let us all have fun.
Yeah, no, it actually is the mustache's fault. You're shaving off your aura when you shave the beard.
Oh,
no, I mean, I disagree with that. I feel like you could be gaining more aura when you are doing it as part of a group effort for the purpose of a larger cause.
But think about all the hockey players that grow their beards for like playoff beards. And think about the 2013 Red Sox.
I'd say the 2013 Red Sox had crazy playoff.
Oh, absolutely. The problem is right now we see a lot of players on this team that can't grow even a mustache. Here, and they are honestly trying.
Alex, if you want all the aura points, just do whatever the heck JJ McCarthy does, because that man has aura.
I mean, I guess here maybe I'm still just old and don't fully understand how aura works.
No one knows what aura does.
Yeah, I know.
All I know is that the more aura
has aura.
You have, the only thing is I know the more aura you have, the better, and it is something that can be farmed. Apparently, as I've been told.
Yeah, it can be farmed. Apparently,
engagement farming too.
Engagement farming is definitely a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can get those aura rings that tell you how well you sleep.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking you could teach your Pokemon how to use aura.
That one deserves a boo.
This is very true. Yes, absolutely. Yes. That's Lucario, a different aura, though. That's actual spiritual energy aura, as opposed to intimidating.
Lucario and Mewtwo, and actually there are a bunch of
like we got the aura, right? This is the aura you guys are talking about, right?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I definitely use a Lucario. Here's Legend ZA comes out in a month.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Lucario, so it's just
absolutely. Both Lucario and Mewtwo have has Mega Forms.
So. Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's whatever. Oh yeah, totally. Yep. There it is. Aura.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Mac, you ready to go?
Yeah, sure.
All right. McCorkle. 3,
count me down.
2, 1.
Yeah, I just need to. I can't remember if I've said this before on this podcast. I need to just say the enhanced games are dumb. Really not a fan of the enhanced games at all. For those of you who don't know, some geniuses think that it's a competitive sport to take steroids and try to break records and stuff on steroids. And I'm very much not a fan of this. Most recently, today, as of this recording, Ben Proud, a great sprinter from Great Britain, announced today that he's going to throw away the rest of his professional swimming career to be part of the enhanced games. And I understand there is money involved in this. I still think this is ridiculous. These are not real records that are being set. You are clearly going against the rules here. And also, injecting these drugs in your body is terrible for you. So, yeah, overall, thumbs down all around. Apparently, they're suing for $800 million or something. Look, I understand if you're going after the financial aspect of things, but it is an asterisk on your career. And I can't endorse this. So the rules are clearly laid out. You should not be doing this. And here we are. We're creating a whole league whole group of athletes that are just going to go out, compete on steroids. Yeah. So that's just my whole soapbox about the enhanced games. Don't do it, folks.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of the enhanced games.
Yeah, no, it's just, I mean, someone did break a world record recently. I don't know, a couple months ago, and apparently, yeah, there's like a cash prize for breaking a world record. But like, you guys know, it's not legit. So
yeah, so it's like, what's the point even?
Yeah, I'd say it's less legit than Barry Bonds' home run record.
Yeah, but that's not saying much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, there. All right, Splash, you ready to end this out?
I hope so. My laptop may or may not be dying, so I just plugged it in, so I might be moving around a little weird. But thank you guys for listening or watching. You can, if you listened, you can watch us on YouTube, Losses Above Replacement, LAR_baseball. If you watched us, we have a podcast. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you may be. Check us out on Twitter at LAR_baseball. You can check me out at Mr. Splashman19. You can check Alex out at the Sports Guy 242. You can check Mac out at Mathias_A_K. And for all of us here at Losses Above Replacement, see you next week. Toodles.
See you.